What the fuck is happening in America? We are back, baby, to making America great again. No, we're not.
So talking about making America great again. Welcome everybody. Another episode of our famous podcast.
Very famous.
We're almost on double-digit subscribers.
Getting there, slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely. But yeah, today what we're talking about is the Wild West.
Of America, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to America, by the way, for the first ever time this week. So, yeah, just interested to talk about it. Obviously, it'll be different and I have experiences after, but you've been there personally twice? You've been to New York, Vegas?
No, I've not been to... I've been to Vegas. I've been to Buffalo for like a day. That's it.
Why?
For work, I was in Canada, in Toronto, and we decided to just go over the border to Buffalo.
I thought you went to New York a few years ago for some reason.
No, I'm going to New York this year. But,
This year?
Yeah, going to New York in September. Yeah.
We'll talk about your no holidays after, but...
That was a Christmas gift, innit?
Okay. From who?
gift.
Your wife?
Yeah.
Fuck, I need to get married.
You know what I mean?
She's gifting you a trip to New York.
Yeah.
For Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas.
You're a very good boy. Santa must have said you're a very good boy.
Yeah. But I always wanted to go in it. But I think that's the thing. Like growing up, like you always saw America in films. Oh, it's this amazing country.
Yeah.
I always wanted to live there and so forth.
It's romanticized to be the greatest place in the world, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
a lot has been going on in the news.
yeah, it's just kind of turned into a very. Let's kick off with what we've seen in the news of late.
Recently.
Because obviously ICE has been the main topic of conversation.
Yeah.
So do you have a good understanding of what?
Not a clear understanding, but there's this governmental organization called ICE.
Yep.
Which is based on finding illegal immigrants and removing them from the US.
Yeah.
And they have different statuses, I believe. They could also be people who have been here for 5 years.
Yeah.
And have papers, but they're still being removed, is from what I've seen.
Yeah.
So not too clear on...
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too clear on the details.
On the details, but they are trying to remove illegal...
But I think what the issue is...
How they've gone about it.
Yeah, because you think about it, it's just me potentially walking down on the street and an ICE agent could just come up to me and say, show me your papers, show me your documentation. And then if I haven't got my wallet or any kind of... they could reprehend me and basically...
Is that how they've done it? Because I thought like that they would target him, like they know that maybe there's some illegals here, so they're like kind of like doing a raid and trying to like get rid of them.
So
through that means, if that makes sense.
Basically, I think it's... So yeah, they're not specifically, they're looking at, they'll be in kind of specific targeted areas, right? But like it's, for example, saying it's in the middle of kind of Birmingham or whatever, like, they're basically targeting people on the way they look. Because obviously if you look like you're from a different country...
Is that what they're like doing?
Yeah, so that's kind of racial profiling that's going on. Which it kind of makes sense because obviously if you're looking for immigrants, you're looking for people...
Who aren't native.
Who aren't so-called native, yeah. But...
I guess the main point here is that this enforcement of immigration has now become such a political kind of flashpoint in the media with what's happened.
Yep.
I think that the most recent one was in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Where when going about these actions, these enforcement officers, they are killing people, unfortunately.
Yeah, shooting.
And not even the actual immigrants, from what I understand.
He was just like a protester.
A protester. So people protesting this are getting killed. Some, like, I don't know the exact details of how and whatever happened. But
have you seen the video?
I haven't watched it. I haven't been on social media.
The video, all right. So basically, what's going on is this gentleman, I believe his name was Alex, right? It's basically an ICE agent has pushed this woman to the ground. This gentleman is recording the whole situation and kind of tried to defend the lady. Then he gets kind of taken to the ground by a load of them. He's on the ground. He did have a gun on, but that got removed and but then the ICE agent's just like on top of him, so I just get his gun out and just shoot him like 10 times.
What?
Yeah, mate, it's
I did not realize that was. Like, maybe I should have researched into it more thoroughly, but I just haven't been on social media of
then
recent to hear about this.
then the Department of Homeland Security, who basically who are running the ICE agents, right? They basically like flipping the script, saying, yeah, he had a gun on him and
Terrorist.
and basically he was a threat and so forth.
And this was a US citizen.
Yeah, US citizen, right? But there's been so many videos showing actually this is not the case at all. Do you know what I mean? It's scary. It's a scary time.
It's scary to think that's happening in America, that there's just this enforcement going out and about finding these people and not even...
If you protest it, you potentially
if you're protesting against it...
If you don't believe in it, if you protest
you're getting shot and killed. You're losing your life for it, which is crazy, because if you think about that here, think about that happening here.
Yeah, no, it's. I think it comes down to they've given these agents too much power.
Yeah,
it should be basically there's a potential person. We need a warrant to go search him and go have a look. Wear body cam because I believe all the police officers now since George Floyd have to wear body cam and so forth to show what their actions and so forth. But yeah, I think they need to kind of bring it in a bit and just actually have restrictions and tighter rules around it.
It doesn't make like I'm going to America, so I'm a bit like, no, I'm not on edge, but it's a bit like with all this stuff going on, I don't really care about the color of my skin, but it's also a bit like, what the fuck could happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, someone's going to stop me at immigration and be like, start asking me questions.
Yeah. But like, when I went, I think, it was just kind of, like, Americans are just really friendly in general, do you know what I mean? I went quite a few years back, so yeah, we didn't really kind of get that kind of impression, to be honest. Everyone was very welcoming and it was, a lovely place, but that's all it was like literally 10 years ago. But it's just a bit scary, and
I think it kind of like, it like trumps that democracy element. It's like above democracy. Like, this isn't that isn't democracy.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. We're going beyond we're going to some like totalitarian enforcement.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's not like, if someone has come here illegally, I believe that there should be questions, investigations, and a due process to find the outcome, whether they've fled a war or whatever, and what the country can do. But just going around and not even like, I'm not saying you're not even killing them, but you're killing people who are protesting them.
Yeah.
Protesting the process.
Yeah.
That's the like crazy part.
Yeah. But obviously,
and you wouldn't expect that in America, because we have this
perception of
it. Land of the free.
Yeah. Like, but like, that's not just the only reason that America's been in the news.
Yeah, that's just one recent
topic. Then you have Venezuela.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So
I remember watching that on the news. I was like,
do you understand the background? Because I have a kind of idea, but I'm not completely familiar. But
as in an idea of what happened, or what might be the motive around it,
or everything.
I guess so. There's the story that Americans tell us that through Trump is, and I think from my understanding is that they didn't feel that Maduro was the elected president.
Yep.
In the country, and somebody else should have been, and he was essentially a dictator. And also the allegations against him is that he was trafficking drugs into the US illegally, essentially, and flooding it with all the drugs. And that's why they had to go capture him and put him on trial, or they put him somewhere in the US now, and they're going to put him on trial.
Yeah.
I mean, just to say, the fact that another country can just fly into another country and capture their president and take him out is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Imagine.
Like, they just fucking, let's fly some choppers into here. Let's capture this president and let's fly him back out.
Well, imagine though, it's like, okay, obviously Venezuela is completely different to the UK, but like, imagine like one day waking up to the news, right? Yeah, Trump has decided that he don't want Keir Starmer.
I don't want this. Yeah.
Or he doesn't want the prime minister in charge. Just basically, thrown in, captured him. We ain't got a prime minister anymore.
That's nuts.
It is, and I think the question is,
like, what gives him if a country is doing this shit, what gives you the power and authority to go do that? Is the question.
Yeah.
Like, the fact you can just go into countries like that and do what you want at your own will.
Yeah.
Is a bit scary. I can't lie.
So then, obviously, Venezuela has the most oil.
Okay, so are we going on to why we think that they've actually done it?
Yeah.
Why we think that they truly... So this is the story we got told. So I think we're maybe aligned on this.
Yeah.
This is the why we think that they actually went and done it. Because they... Go on, Ali, go.
Like, so Venezuela, they're the country with the most oil reserves.
Correct.
All right? And now...
And they were trading with China.
Trading with China.
And they were starting to trade in yen and not dollars. Because I think we have to remember is that there's something called the petrodollar. So where all oil is exchanged in dollars.
Yep.
And these conversations have started to change with China, where they started exchanging oil in yen.
Okay.
And I think that gives some premise to why the US, because obviously if they start exchanging in yen, it depreciates the value of the dollar. So they call it the petrodollar.
Yep.
So the way that the oil is converted and exchanged through is dollars globally.
Yeah.
So if it moves away from the petrodollar, the US loses its strength as well. So I think there was a reason behind that, because Venezuela was doing that.
Yeah.
They needed to get in there to firstly get the oil reserves and have first access to them, and to also tell them you're going to be exchanging this in dollars and not yen, even if it is with China.
But now they are making so basically, I think what I read, if I read it correctly yesterday, they said they're gonna do privatization of their oil reserves now
Through American companies. Yeah.
That's wild, right?
Yeah.
Like, literally, basically, they're just gonna, all American companies now are basically, It's
I don't think it's a legitimate security policy, where they had to defend the country and they had to do this.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is, people are so skeptical is because we've seen it before. When they went into places like in the Middle East, Libya, Iraq, Afghanistan, there was never really an ultimate conclusion, was there?
No.
It was always for the resources. Libya was heavily resourced. I believe Iraq had oil reserves.
Yeah.
And there was never really any... I think people have woken up to the lies, if that makes sense, of the US and them trying to put it under the guise of national security and national policy, but you can see what's
be able to look through
going on in here. And the other thing is that the lady that they're going to elect is very pro-American.
Yeah.
So instead of going to war with Venezuela, it's that lady, I can't remember.
Yeah, she was the vice president now. I think she's basically the president, yeah.
She's going to go in to be president, and she's very pro-American. So she's going to work with the American companies, work with the American privatization, and basically work for them, if that makes sense. It's just like a puppet.
Yeah. But then again, I'm not too I don't know much around the actual Venezuela president at that moment. In case he was actually a dictator, and there was I know the people of Venezuela weren't really treated well.
Yeah.
And there was mass migration. I think
Mass inflation as well.
mass inflation. I think about 8 million people had left Venezuela in the last 10 years or something. So obviously something had gone wrong there. But I think only time will tell whether this was it was a lawful thing to do, firstly.
Destabilizing other nations and thinking you have the right to go into them is...
Yeah.
Like, why do they think that they are the savior? Or like, why do they think they should be going in there?
But then again, it could come back to actually protecting the people, actually looking at the people and being like, you know what, something's clearly not going.
It's not your job.
But I'm not close enough to actually be able to say what went wrong is right or wrong. But like, you could say that actually it for humanity it was the right decision because the people are being mistreated. Why has it been?
But all of them aren't.
But why has there been mass migration from Venezuela?
I guess the country is not being run in a correct way, but it's still not the duty of the US. Unless like people, I do get along what you were saying, but there are also some people who were in favor of him.
Yeah.
So like they are being outstripped with what they want.
Yeah.
Equally.
Yeah, it is a difficult tight line between whether they're helping a situation or meddling.
I think we've just seen this play out too often, and it doesn't go well.
Yeah,
you don't need to get involved in different areas and more. Just like focus on yourself, but it is like makes things like you said, it's resource driven to get cheaper oil to benefit yourselves.
But then
and make American companies.
It comes back to another situation where actually the whole Greenland situation.
Yeah, that's another one. That's another example of it, where by sheer force.
Well, apparently they're looking to make an offer to actually buy it.
Yeah, but they don't want to sell. So if you don't want to sell something,
then now they're going to go in by force. But it's just, it's just like a strategic.
It's like a strategic base, right, in between Russia and America, where they can have a presence to intercept any sort of warfare that
may occur.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like nuclear related or any like just missile related, but it is a strategic base.
Yeah, but surely Denmark has an alliance with the USA, right?
I guess they see them as an ally, but at the same time, they see the US, they see it as their own land. This is our Danish citizens.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, surely there should be if the US wants a military presence in Greenland, surely instead of doing a hostile takeover, you can work something out, being like actually. Yeah, this is.
I think they just want the whole land though, and people live there. It's like some people saying, "Let me come to Birmingham because it's strategically located. I just want your land." It's like another country. Let me buy it.
Yeah, it's just. But like,
it doesn't make good sense. And again, he's calling it under the guise of a national security.
But do you think America cares more about military warfare and the strategic operations in the rather than actually, because they spend so much money on military operations, but actually, should they not be looking after their own citizens? Actually, you know what? Maybe we don't need to spend so much money on defense, but actually, let's create some kind of private healthcare for our citizens and try and kind of do something that's gonna help the people of the country.
Of course, you would think that is the most reasonable thing to do, but are politicians ever logical and reasonable? No. And if they feel a threat from another nation, they're going to do everything to show their strength. And the way that, their president is doing that is through, I think this is like, they haven't grown the investment in their army in numerous years. In America invested more into their military basically than previous years. So I don't know whether that's a sign that they're gearing up for some sort of war, or they're just trying to show and flex their strength. Also with Greenland, it is kind of in the Arctic. I think there's some rare minerals or rare resources there as well in that part of the world. So maybe having a base there allows them to have better access to that, is from things that I've read. But he has threatened like European allies of Denmark and Greenland with tariffs. As well. So he's not scared to, because obviously you've got NATO. Which is America and Europe basically who have allegiance together. He's not scared to basically cross that to say, I want Greenland and I'm gonna impose tariffs on you if you don't give it to me, as kind of like a threat. So he's willing to go beyond these agreements that have been in place for many years for his own kind of interests.
But do you think it's justified as like, actually there is high risk from Russia and China? You've seen what Russia has done to Ukraine. Well, we need to position ourselves to, if we need to defend ourselves, we can defend ourselves. So do you think it's actually like Trump's move has been justified in that manner, or do you think it's a bit over the top?
Personally, in my eyes, I don't think it's justified to go buy another country and feel I'm going to put a military base here. What gives you that right? They were born there by birth.
Yeah.
But I can understand if someone's trying to, if they feel there is a genuine threat. And he wants to secure his nation, I can understand it from that point of view, because if there is a genuine attempt at them and they didn't do what they could.
But do you think there's actually a genuine threat? Do you think there's a potential threat between Russia and China and the USA? Because if that war, World War III, ever did erupt...
The thing is, I think the war wouldn't be like a land and sea type of war that it was historically. I think it would be some new form, maybe like cyber, where it's like more outages. And like it impacts your economy and all of that, like kind of from that point of view. Rather than actually like
taking over land and
trying to take over land and sea. If they can decimate you within without having to do all of that, they will do that, if that makes sense.
But what's the... it's just, it's a very tricky situation, very difficult situation.
The thing is, if he goes and takes Venezuela for national security, if he goes to overtakes Greenland for national security, what's going to stop him? Do you think he'll stop if he wants any other pieces of land for national security?
But
that's the question.
Where do you draw the line?
Where do you draw the line? In a sense.
But it's a very difficult situation. Feels.
It's put the world really on a bit of an edge and a tipping point where there is a lot of uncertainty when you see the biggest country in the world, having these conversations. You think, like, what the fuck? Like, literally, what the fuck is going on here? I think most people just want to live in peace. They want to get on with their lives. They want to live a good life. They don't want to have any wars. They don't want to have this kind of threat lingering over them. But it does make it scary, because obviously the UK, we are an ally to America, and I think there's been recent conversations of like Keir Starmer having a travel visit to China to see Xi, who's their president. And it's probably got Trump wondering what the relationship is happening there. So it seems like the UK is strategically trying to place themselves, but we aren't any sort of global superpower. I think there is a new world order in terms of economies occurring, and they have had this conversation ongoing over the last 5 to 10 years where there is somewhat of a new world order where certain economies, like I think I saw like the BRIC economies, Brazil, Russia, India, China have formed their own alliance
Yep.
where they are growing at a much higher rate in terms of real GDP growth.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like a list of top 10 I saw the other day, and it was just like UK wasn't even in the top 10.
Yeah. India's about to overtake China.
India and China were at the top. It said like 40% of GDP growth is coming from like eastern part of the world, that the West is becoming irrelevant. I think the only country in the top 10, which was 10th, was Germany, I want to say, I think.
Do you think Trump, what are your thoughts on
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump? Do you think he is making America great again? Yeah, what are your thoughts on him?
Might polarize a few people. Sorry if any of our 9 subscribers unsubscribe. At first, before his second presidency came into effect, I wasn't opposed of Trump. I like the idea of not just him, anyone from the outside, wanting to make their own country stronger for their own interests. I feel if Rishi Sunak, Keir Starmer said, let's make Britain great again and put British people first and put their needs as a priority rather than investing millions into wars abroad, sending aid abroad, our taxpayers' money abroad to other things that we are not aligned to and interested in everyday people. I think, like, from the outside, that sounds good to me. Like, I'm in line and on board with that.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of the message in that Trump really had, right?
Yep.
A big part of that. There is obviously a part of, getting rid of certain demographics of people and immigration. And I'm not solely like saying that people should be deported and getting rid of, but with the world that we live in and we've spoken about on previous episodes, there is a fine line between having a country that works well with people who are integrated and versus like I said, our taxpayer money going to people who don't want to work. For example, we work hard, we have jobs, and if people do come to this country from another country, I would expect them to have the same values, the same work ethic in that regard.
Yep.
So I think as a whole, I buy into what Trump says on the outside.
Yep.
And what he does and the energy he has to want to do that. He comes from a non-political background. He's not been in the system for 30, 40 years.
Yep.
As a lot of American politicians, he's just a businessman and wants to do this because he wants to do it.
Yep.
I'm trying to take his personality and personal life aside from this, by the way.
Yeah.
As well. I'm looking at it from just this point of view first. And also the fact that the guy got shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
The guy got a bullet was so close to his neck, it clipped his ear, right?
Yeah.
At 75, 80 years old, he could have just thought, you know what? I've got money. I've been a president once. I don't need to do this.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you know what? He's got characteristics and balls to say, you know what? I'm going to keep going at this age. Now, whether I agree with his personal life and his decisions that he's made financially with women, that's kind of another topic, and I kind of want to separate that because I don't feel any politician or anyone, regardless of they're Republican or Democrat, regardless of them being Labour or a Conservative, has any moral high ground because they are all as, if you want to put it, as dirty as each other.
Yeah.
It just depends how long the dirt is hidden for, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But in application, I'm not really too close to US politics. I'm not gonna act like I know, but someone who talks on the outside, look, I'll buy into that. To be fair, but recently with his second presidency and his application of it, and the things that happened in Venezuela, even the ICE stuff and the stuff that we've spoken about, it's kind of made me rethink when I've seen certain things go into application.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I feel like this is, changing my view.
Yeah.
Being honest, it doesn't feel like what was said.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm not gonna lie, I was very anti-Trump from the start. Didn't really like his views and so forth. But I kind of, if listening to you, I'm trying to understand now what he didn't need to do this. He does want to make the US great again, and actually, yeah, my I think he's actually trying to what he believes do the best for the United States. But yeah, I think yes, some of his actions I don't really agree with, and I think it's just a bit of a at the moment a bit of a shit show.
The thing is, I think we'll go into the question later, is like, it's disappointing that that is the best candidate that they have. For a country like that, that is the best candidate that they have. And the opposite isn't really great either, because if you look at Joe Biden before, Kamala Harris...
But you can say that about the UK. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but why is there no better people to lead countries?
Because it's a system where you require money. You need to be from that kind of elite
Bureaucratic.
that kind of background. So going on to the point of like, yeah, it stems from I don't know why people. It's having the opportunity, isn't it? Donald Trump, at the end of the day, he has so much money to actually, I can finance a campaign by myself. I don't need, do you know what I mean? It takes a lot of money to
But I think it's also the fact that on an actual democratic vote, why did the majority vote? Like, if he's so like polarizing and he's so looked bad upon, like, why did the question? I guess why
that goes on the point of actually, it's
this is it this thing of the silent majority of what people actually want versus what they're given.
But you need to understand the electoral register to kind of understand their voting system. So
you know this very well.
I know it. I wouldn't say I know it very well, but like, it's not everybody votes for. It's not every single vote that's tallied up.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're in Florida, right, you vote for basically
your
state, right? Then everybody kind of, so for like Texas, like they're very kind of, they always vote for the Republicans, I believe. Yeah, that's what I think. Then you have your swing states like Florida and so forth, where actually they might go one term Republican, another term Democrats. So the people will actually kind of, Trump will spend most of his time like campaigning in
the swing states.
In the swing states. So it's, I don't know whether.
So as a total, the votes are basically determined by how many states are in the favors of Republicans and how many are in the favor of Democrats. And that's why it's probably more important and time investing for them to go to the swing states, because if they know they've got a safe state, there's no point. You don't need to go there,
Yeah, they don't need to vote for me. But then actually, is it kind of a true representation?
Because you could have less votes but more states, right?
Yeah, exactly.
In a sense.
Yeah.
Because like certain states have less people, so as overall. But I guess that's their political system and that's how it's worked for them. I guess the question is that with their women in their system, he's still a majority that's been voted in twice. And there are still like, I don't know, I think in both presidencies, over 70 million people who have voted for this person to be in power. So they must see something within him where they feel that he's the representation that they have to get what they want. Maybe people are fed up of this, the left side of their diversity politics, putting other nations' needs before domestic needs, sending like taxpayer money abroad, putting taxpayers' money into things that they're not interested in, like Obama, who was on the other side as a Democrat, he went to war with countries. He went into Syria. He took action in the Middle East. And maybe people don't want people are fed up of their taxpayer money going into.
But then Trump's doing exactly the same, though, isn't he? He's kind of...
Yeah, he's going into Venezuela. But the thing is, he's not actually doing a war in Venezuela. I'm not defending him, by the way, but he hasn't got troops on the ground.
Yeah.
As an example.
It is very... It's different culture as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, different ways of living. People are very pro-gun, and so forth. So... Yeah, well, I don't know really what I'm trying to say, to be honest with you, but it's
I guess from the question of, is this what the best that they have to go for? I guess America's an interesting country because it feels we have the Democrats and the Republicans, which is the same as here for Labour and Conservative, but it feels like there's such a polarization of the two.
Yeah, there's no real middle ground.
There's no and it feels like as time has gone on, as I've gotten older and as social media has obviously impacted it, that middle line where people can come together has impacted it so much. And people base their friendships off kind of, if you're politically this side or politically this side, I don't want to be friends with you, or I don't want to date with you, or you get very much judged for that, it seems, especially in America, because it's deemed a reflection of who you are. And the thing is, what I find weird about politics is that in any country, why do you have two opposites trying to fight against each other? If you're all trying to make the country better on the same basis, surely you should just come together and work together. Does that make sense? Yeah. That's the thing that's always kind of...
but you would always have two opposing views, do you know what I mean? But I know what you're saying. The views of each party is so different.
Yeah, it's so
should be something in the middle. Actually, let's just meet in the middle and actually make this country great for everybody instead of just a particular segment.
You guys want to focus on this, we guys want to focus on this, and therefore you're bad people because you're taxing everyday workers, but then you're doing the opposite. You're taxing people who want to work hard and earn money. It's where is the middle ground to try and help us to get to where we want? Obviously, what do we commonly want? We want everyone to be able to succeed, thrive, economically and financially be stable. Socially, everyone is looked after. There's equality,
safety in the country.
National security. There's also equality
of life, high quality life, high standard.
And it's how do you not just get to that together rather than trying to say...
It should be one common goal instead of...
Yeah, and I feel it's coming politics is it's not a thing of what can we do to improve your life. It's look at what did they do bad that makes them really bad, if that makes sense.
But it's difficult to have that because it's a country that's actually got... It's all very black and white. There's no real grey. It's either being for example, having been pro-gun or anti-gun. Mm-hmm. You can't just be you can't be just in the middle, can you? So that actually could bring us nicely onto our next topic, the gun laws. It's just a bit to meet in that middle. How would you kind of suggest that regarding gun laws?
I don't know the gun laws in depth there, but I personally think that there's a certain amendment that gives citizens to bear arms, right? Yeah. To protect themselves. I think that in place should be there.
Okay, so everybody should be...
I'm not pro-gun laws that people can carry around and shoot each other on the streets, but for citizens to defend itself from their government should be there.
From their government?
Because there are situations in history where...
But it's not for protection from the government, it's from protection from somebody coming into your home and... you can protect yourself,
the things for me, it should be more from a place of the citizens being able to protect themselves from the government above, in case anything tyrannical happens, where somebody comes in and a dictatorship starts trying to impact citizens, take your everyday rights, and you can't defend yourselves.
Yeah, but
When democracy changes, like you could say,
America is
imagine
the golden standard for democracy, though, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, they kind of invaded the standard. They went into Vietnam because they didn't want communism in place. So like they want.
But it also,
be...
you can't. I don't think you can be naive enough to think that can't happen in your own back home. Because there are very much people in America and people who are involved in American politics who do want communism. There are people who want that. There are very people who are on that left wing side as well. So there are like senators who are pro communism, but they don't outwardly like preaching it, are they?
Yeah. Well,
I think the gun laws, like, there needs to be an element where citizens can protect themselves from the tyranny of a government. When you remember Germany?
Yeah, no,
years
okay.
ago,
No, I
Italy under Mussolini. From those
but
points of view,
surely there should be tighter restrictions of.
I'm not talking about people just being able to go get a gun license and carry a WAP and carry out some political violence.
But your issue is, because of the gun laws, guns are actually very easily accessible, and there just needs to be kind of, because I'm not saying I'm not anti-gun law. I think people should have the right to bear arms and protect themselves.
Yeah, I think it's that.
Right, but there are other countries that have the same laws in place.
Like examples?
I can't actually think of any, but I will have a look now. All right, but that will mean, countries like Canada, guns are legal. Australia, guns are legal. Germany, guns are legal as well.
Gives the citizens the right to bear arms and protect themselves.
But for example, Germany, strict licenses, have psychological evaluation.
Yeah.
Proof of need as well.
I think it's things like that, like, need to be in place. I guess, what's your views on it? I've given my views.
What? I don't know. It's just kind of, it's getting kind of, in all honesty, I'm getting a bit bored. It's getting boring and repetitive, to be honest with you.
What, the political gun violence?
Yes, it's just
shooters going into schools and things like that.
Yeah, just like
it's like those things can't happen.
Like it just happens.
Those
so
things
often.
cannot happen.
It just happens so often. It's like it's just getting to a point where it's just getting kind of very easy. It's just like it doesn't give you that shock factor that it used to. Do you know what I mean? Like you think of the whole Charlie Kirk situation.
Yeah.
Right? You're seeing a man get shot
on a college campus.
But it's just,
it's like jugular,
obviously
vein, and he's just like,
that obviously the horrific images, but they tried to shoot Donald Trump last year.
Yeah.
Do you know
it's
what I mean?
like, who is this in comparison?
Yeah, it is just like when the shock factor kind of is happening so regularly, it's getting a
but
bit
is
silly.
it also because of social media now that everything's there? Before, like maybe 15, 20 years ago, the only place you'd be able to see this is like a picture on the newspaper or a picture on the news. But now you have social media videos circulating within seconds, and it's like everyone's got a different angle, and then you've got everyone's opinions, and you're having to absorb all of them. It's like there is a lot to take in and digest with what has to get dealt with, if that makes sense. So it's not like there's just a lot going on from that regard, I feel.
Yeah.
Especially with the Charlie Kirk situation. There was like images and horrific videos just going around
Yeah.
instantly, which, you know,
Yeah, it's just
I think it's a scary question is like, will I get killed for my viewpoint? And that's what democracy is meant to be. That you can have your viewpoint and exist
Yeah.
and coexist. But he wasn't able to have that. He actually believed in something, whether it was right or wrong. I don't think it was. I think some of his viewpoints were were extreme, and I didn't agree with them for sure. But at the same time, was it enough that you're having just a conversation on a college campus and you get assassinated like that?
but nobody should be assassinated.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just.
For your viewpoints, right?
But then, like, you think about other aspects as well. That insurer, the CEO of that insurance company.
Oh yeah, the medical one.
Yeah, he
By that Luigi guy.
yeah, but like Luigi was actually he's made out to be a hero. To be fair, wasn't he? Because obviously, like, these massive insurance companies are declining health cover when it's needed.
Doesn't give you the right to kill someone.
Exactly, but like, yeah, it's just.
I think
it's
the
just
world's for if you're having to, the fact that you having to kill someone that you disagree over
yeah, it's just. But
it's a pretty scary place to be. And I think with Charlie Kirk I don't know, he was like a political influencer as well, right? He was
Yeah.
influencing a lot of people. So you could assume that maybe some people from political point of view wanted him dead because he was influencing too many people at college campuses.
Does.
He was doing too much. Like, he was very involved with Trump as well. Like, he was flying with him.
Yeah, no,
He
I
was
understand that,
influencing
but-
a lot of kids. That doesn't give you the right to kill him, but at the same time,
it's just too radical. That is, and when you've got someone who's so polarizing their view, so too far to the left or too far to the right, right?
It's the social
That
media-
it's actually they think it's a good idea to go out and kill somebody for their opposing views, and being able to access having access to a gun, then it's just it's just
I think that's the thing is
chaos, isn't it?
like going back to what we said before, you wouldn't expect these things to happen in a first world democracy who's meant to be like the safekeeper of democracy. You would maybe expect, not like in a sad way to say it, like assassinations of presidents or assassinations of political people happen in third world countries where there isn't like democracy or there isn't like the rule of
Yeah.
just common law,
yeah.
not in like these countries. So it kind of begs that question, like, yeah, like what is happening? But I feel like social media has ruined it a lot because with Charlie Kirk, a lot of his content was getting millions and millions of views on YouTube, on TikTok Shorts. Like he would just clip it and stuff. And I think like if he wasn't doing it on social media, firstly, would people really know him? But like the polarization happens in those echo chambers as well. And at the same time, you could say like, yeah, you should know what you're doing. You're putting yourself as a risk, but you don't assume that you're going to get killed for doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen, but I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories going around as well at the same time into Charlie Kirk's death as well. But I'm not really going to go down those rabbit holes because
Yeah,
I haven't really looked into them.
All right, let's finish off on a point. I've got a question. Would you move to America?
I've thought about this.
Is it
I thought about this, yeah.
appealing to you?
In the past, I've thought about this and I was like, you know what, it could be. Because at the same time, it's not like the UK where you have different cities and you move and it's just you're still in the same country. When you move there, it's like you have different states and like different states can be run in different
Yeah.
ways and you have like different laws in different states, if I'm right in saying, and different taxes in different states. So you can kind of move within a country and see benefits, right? But I think with the way things have gone over the last year, it's really kind of like that kind of desire to maybe consider it has been removed.
Yeah.
But with that said, I've never been there.
Yeah.
I've never gotten to experience it. I'm getting to experience that this week when I go.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to actually see what it's like for myself.
Yeah.
Because like I said, different states could be completely different as well at the same time. I'm very excited to see what the American people are like.
Yeah.
The culture.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited.
Would you?
Very excited and very jealous that you are literally going to Miami this week.
We're going to New York later, so
Yeah.
would you move there?
Would I move there? I think working in the field that we do, I think it has the opportunity to
Yeah, it does.
really make your life, let's say, living a lot better.
Underwriting and actuarial work is
You're crazy over there.
respected.
So you could be really, you could really make a lot of money out there. That's one reason I would go there. Another, on the other hand though, your work-life balance is very different to
think?
Yeah. It's more favoured on a basis for the employer instead of really kind of
Right.
because
There's a lot less annual leave there or something, right?
a lot less annual leave is more, but the more performance the more you're going to grow as well.
Yeah.
So it depends how you look at it, really. Then
I think certain states could be
yeah,
appealing.
but the other thing is the medical care. That's just what worries me, to be honest. It is concerned that we might just, if something happens and one accident, your life could be changed, and typically if you don't have the right cover, you could go into mass debt.
Yeah.
It's just that's the only.
There's no backstop.
Yeah, that's it. If the US had a
NHS equivalent.
NHS equivalent, then it would be NHS equivalent and tighter gun restrictions. It would definitely.
I mean, the thing is, with the polarization, going back to it, just feels like people are like getting weird there. Like you always say, like the land of the crazy, not the land of the crazy, but like, are people just? That's why I'm excited to go there. Like, are people very crazy there? If that makes sense.
You know what though?
For instances, like I know someone who went to New York, for example, and they were on the tube waiting, and they had someone chasing them and like screaming noises at them and stuff, like chasing them around the tube,
But
like just shit like that. It's all weird.
it is a.
It's a free for all.
Obviously, America is a massive place, right?
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of Drew Binsky on YouTube.
What's that?
Just like travel. He's American. He goes around to some wild places in America, right? And it's just like, it's just some of the places are crazy.
It's just so different.
Yeah, but it's such a massive place. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's
people are really out in the sticks.
Yeah, there are, and I like not like that, but like there's like sick places like Wyoming, which is like just like ranches and stuff like that. Looks sick.
Yeah.
But I'm going to Miami, which is like a cosmopolitan city, and it's just like
I would love to travel like through like the South of America, like Texas, and like Georgia, all that kind of places. But yeah, hopefully that time will come. But
one day.